Welcome to the Trailhead from Ultra Sign Up, where big adventures begin. Trail running is so much more than just a sport. It's a community, a culture, a way of seeing the world. On this show, we're not dissecting splits or debating shoe specs. We're here to get to the heart of it all, the people, the places, and the stories that speak to the soul of the sport. Join me, Zoe Rome, and my co-host, Brendan Leonard, as we'll bring you conversations with the everyday athletes, local legends, quirky characters, and creative minds who make trail running what it is. Messy, joyful, gritty, and deeply human. Because it's not just about chasing finish lines. It's about the friendships forged on long climbs, the lessons learned in the pain cave, and the weird, wild moments that remind us why this sport is about so much more than the miles.
This episode of The Trailhead is brought to you by the folks at Running Warehouse, who would like to remind you that it's getting colder outside, which means when you run, some of your body parts might get cold, and that Running Warehouse sells products that will help you keep those body parts from getting cold, which will make it harder for you to make excuses why you didn't run today or yesterday, or why you cut your run short this morning. Anyway, if you'd like some help, Running Warehouse has dozens of models and sizes of inventions like jackets, hats, and gloves that will keep you warm, and also headlamps and reflective gear, since if you live in the Northern Hemisphere like 80% of the world's population, you may have noticed that it is dark outside more often in the winter, and you might like to see while you run and be seen by other people. Okay, Zoe, did you ever make a mixtape, or was that too, do I sound like an old guy saying that?
Like a literal cassette tape, like the...
Let's throw in like CDR.
Yes, man, high school and college, every guy that I liked got a real try-hard mixtape with like a lot of Smiths and David Bowie, and like I would do some real like Taylor Swift coded shit of like hiding messages and like the song titles that would like spell out something. So like subliminally I could communicate through both my like incredible music curation skills and via magic that like you should go out with Zoe. This isn't just a list of red flags from the 80s.
Maybe this is how I feel. Maybe not.
Maybe.
Did you have a song
Not
that you
subtle.
like put on lots of those? Like that was a repeat that kept appearing?
I remember in high school having like a real Blind Pilot kick, which was like a like Pacific Northwest folk
Portland,
indie band. Yeah. That I believe used to go on tour entirely on bicycle, that I was like really into, and in like rural suburban Arkansas, they probably weren't getting a ton of traffic. So I like really took it upon myself to be their messenger to the people, because I was super, super into like that sort of like first wave of like indie singer songwriter, sort of like maybe featured in an Apple commercial Feist era stuff.
I feel like I have a Blind Pilot song rattling around in my head from like 2010.
Yeah, I bet you do. What about you?
The story I heard 2008. Yep. That's what it is.
Yeah, that is a Zoe like junior high school classic of like,
okay,
I don't know how to talk to you, so I'm just going to try to shove a bunch of music into you.
Did you listen to all the lyrics on that song? On song 3? No, I made a ton of them in college, and I feel like I just remember I went through this phase where I put Tangled Up in Blue by Bob Dylan on like every single mixtape or like mix CD. So I'd have multiples of these in my 6 CD changer in my car, and it would like keep, and oh, here it is again, you know. But that's the one that sticks out. But it wasn't all that old. It was a lot of new.
But it's
stuff.
always good because like you want to have something like, you want to, for me, like balancing that, you always want to have that song that shows like, I've been in this game longer than you kind of deal. Like I've got like some Bob Dylan, or I've got like something like really classic and cool, or like I would sneak Patsy Cline in there if I really wanted to flex on someone that was never going to call me back. And then I would put in something like new and indie that I had like gotten off LimeWire. Hopefully they're not still trying to track me down for this.
I doubt it.
And would mix some like weird new indie thing I had found in there, and try to get this like, again, try to compress like my entire emotional universe into like 12 songs on a compact disc.
It's a valuable exercise, I think. This is who I am. Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually feel that I love a good playlist. I'm going to look for your feedback on this. Right now, my race day running playlist is 16 hours long. I feel that I have lost my curatorial touch, and I need to get better at editing.
I'm happy that you have that much time to put something like that together.
Well, I just keep adding to it after years and years and years.
Do you still enjoy all of those songs, or does the repetition during hard moments drive them out of your life?
Weirdly, I feel like trauma bonding with my specific music just makes it hit all the better. I'll notice when I'm having just a shitty run, there's I'll have 6 songs that I can only listen to. But when I'm in the zone and I'm enjoying my run, it makes all the music sound better. It makes every even just straight up bad music hit, because my race day playlist has gotten so unwieldy that it's K-pop and then pop punk and then the Hamilton soundtrack.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's too much. And you don't listen to music at all while running.
I tried when the first marathon I ever ran. It was a small MP3 player that my then girlfriend had, and I borrowed it, and I was like, oh, I'll listen to Fela Kuti while I run. It's just these super long songs, and I was just doing laps around Washington Park in Denver, and I think I was supposed to run 20 miles that day, and halfway through I was like, this is just gonna make me hate Fela Kuti. I can't do this. And then I rode my bicycle across America a couple of years later, and my buddy who I was with had a speaker that fit in his water bottle cage, and he would play music all day, but we weren't together all the time, right? We would just he would get out ahead, I would be behind, and we'd catch back up after a couple hours and be like, hey, do you want to get lunch or whatever? And I made the decision to only listen to music before and after the ride, because I had an iPod that only could probably fit 200, 300 songs on it. And I was like, if I ride my bicycle for 8 to 10 hours every single day for 45 days, and then I'm going to hate all these songs. I'm going to get sick of them.
I might hate the concept of music.
Yeah. And because I would listen to them only in the morning, and then when we had maybe some leisure time in the evening, I have fantastic memories of several Andrew Bird songs that are oh, this was my bike trip. Yeah, let's take me back. So yeah, it's kind of I'm just afraid that I'm going to ruin it.
Yeah.
And that's not the case with everybody, but I also just need time with no inputs, I guess, in my life, because things are busy otherwise in my life.
Do you still ever make playlist or mixtape for yourself or others otherwise? Do you still engage in the curatorial arts? Do you identify now or ever as a DJ?
Oh, not like Romy, but yeah, playlists I used to make. I have been slowly working on a covers playlist on YouTube that I've thought about soliciting other people's ideas for songs, but I don't want to hurt their feelings by not including their songs. But there's some just, we think Spotify or Apple Music or whatever is so great, but there's covers are not on there. Live covers are not on there. Greatest hits albums are not on there. Live albums are usually not, there. So YouTube is my go-to, and there's some amazing covers on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, I have still such a soft spot for again, I feel a really a good, tight, well-edited, well-curated playlist, mixtape, whatever the kids are calling it these days. I don't know if they still make these. I just think there's few things better on earth, than just a banger playlist.
No, yeah, I know. And when you're eating dinner at somebody's house, you're like, "Ooh, what's this song?"
The dinner party playlist is a huge favorite of mine. I can get real try hard at that as well.
A coffee shop with a barista who actually knows, actually has good music. That's incredible.
Yes, that's huge. Yeah,
totally
nowadays, and they don't just put on Sirius XM Coffee House, and it's the same Colby Calais covers from 2009. Yeah, I am pumped because we're going to talk to a running DJ, a DJ of running, and hear a little bit about Romy Ancona's approach to running, music, inclusivity, growing up in Mexico, and everything in between.
Yeah, very excited.
If you've ever wanted to feel both humbled and euphoric at the same time, the Mount Mitchell Heartbreaker might be your race. This event is a love letter to the other Pisgah, the one in the shadow of the highest peak east of the Mississippi, and it's equal parts stunning and absolutely unhinged in the best way. We're talking 50 miles with over 12,000 feet of climbing, technical single track that makes your brain work as hard as your legs. There'll be grassy double track where you can finally zone out and flow, and views from Snook's Nose and Heartbreak Ridge that will make you forget, even if just for a moment, that your quads are staging a rebellion. Now, real talk. Hurricane Helene did a number on this area last year, and the course has been rerouted for 2025. There's no summit of Mount Mitchell this time around, but honestly, this alternate route is still incredible. Massive climbs, pristine trails, and the kind of scenery that reminds you why you fell in love with the sport in the first place. The race starts at Old Camp Greer in Old Fort, North Carolina, and you can literally roll out of your cabin or tent and stumble to the start line at 5:30 a.m., which, let's be honest, is the only civilized way to begin a 16-hour sufferfest. There's also a 55K if 50 miles feels a little spicy. No judgment, there's still 7,500 feet of climbing. Casual. Registration now is open at ultrasignup.com. Go break your heart a little.
Hello, my name is Romy Ancona. I'm a DJ and community member here in the Roaring Fork Valley, and I like running.
So, yeah, Romy, how did you get into trail running?
Okay, so you want the short version or the long version?
Let's go long,
Okay.
Let's make this a test of everyone's endurance.
It all began in 1987 when I was born.
The cosmic lead. Here we go.
Right, I ran out of the womb and got my first gold. And so I had gotten in a car accident in 2016, and I'm like terrible with injuries. I've had some really weird luck with injuries. I don't know why, but I got in a car accident, and my physical therapist at the time was telling me, "Hey, you should." Go for walks, go for hikes. Blood flow is going to help with the concussion part. And it did. It helped tremendously. And it got me to recover pretty quickly. I broke my collarbone, had a concussion, and it wasn't too serious that I was able to walk and hike. And so then once I started hiking uphill on a treadmill, I started to feel better, and I got addicted to that feeling. And my concussion specialist was saying, if you can run and you can, if your brain can handle the up and down eye movement, then go for runs. It's blood flow is going to help. And so then my buddy asked me at the gym that I was working out at was also a PT clinic, and my buddy worked out there as well. And we would do classes all the time together. And he's the one that got me into trail running. He's like my trail father. He goes by Bobby Chombo, and his real name is Brian. But
it's an incredible trail father name.
Yeah, Bobby Chombo. Yeah, my trail father. It's his birthday today too. Crazy. So yeah, he asked me. He said, "Do you want to do an ultra?" And I had no idea what that was. And it was Broken Arrow, who I'm involved with now. And it was Broken Arrow, I think back in 2018, 2020? I don't remember. No, it must have been.
It's 2019. I'm looking at your UTMB page. It's just 2019.
Yeah, it must have been 2018. So, yeah, I had no idea. And he was saying, I downloaded this training plan from online. It's a marathon training plan. If we just do it on the trails, I think we'll be okay. And I was like, okay, yeah. I'm like, I trust you. He's a smart guy. I was like, yeah, sure. Let's go for it. And we took our training to the trails into the Santa Monica Mountains in Southern California. And we just we did intervals uphill sometimes, intervals on flat. It was just whatever was available. And because there was so much traffic, so we couldn't always just get to a trail. We would just run on the road. And so we kind of survived. It was, I think it was a 52K that distance that year. So it was just over a marathon. So I don't know. Some people call 50s an ultra. I don't know by definition. I personally don't know what an
We'll count it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
26.3.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Actually, Brendan and I are the official arbiters of what counts as an ultra. So
yes, we make
you
the
came
rules.
to the right place.
Thank you.
I often switch from running to ultra running at 26.3. I let everybody around me know. Okay.
I'm ultra running now, guys. Running an ultra.
All right.
Seriously.
So Yeah.
It's funny though, because I feel like you got into trail running post injury, and I feel like for many other people, that order of operations is reversed, and
Right.
that's how many a gravel biker is born.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Totally.
But sort of getting back even more into your origin story, you were actually originally born in Cozumel, Mexico. How does your background shape your relationship to sport and the outdoors?
That's a good question. Cozumel's a small island. It's really surrounded by nature. A lot of jungle, a lot of ocean, and I felt my connection to the outdoors there. And that saying that now, just hearing myself say that, it totally meant something different. There, it was to be one with the ocean and the jungle and the animals. And like, there's nothing like that here in Snowmass, Colorado. So it's like, it totally meant something totally different. And yeah, I guess moving here, it was easy for me to take an appreciation to and give gratitude to the surroundings that I'm in.
I'm like, I really don't want to like 100% switch gears, but I'm like very interested in what is the start of your relationship with music?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
First musical memory, actually. Let's go with that.
First musical memory was hearing this song called La Vida es un Carnaval by Celia Cruz. And that song name translates to the life is a carnival. And it's such a upbeat song. And I remember hearing it for the first time as a kid, and it just like took over my body. And I think that song still like gives me chills, and I love hearing it. I'd never play it. I mean, I feel like I've played it once in my career, but it's just like not something that I would play. But that's my first musical memory. But yeah, professionally, I would say 2009 I started DJing. 2010 I was in like punk rock bands in high school, and I played trumpet in middle school. I was always into music. I just didn't really take it on like a career or like a serious hobby until like 2009, 2010.
What does that look like? What was the start like? Were you just like invited to play at a friend's barbecue, or like what was the first, do you remember the first gig?
Yes. My first serious gig, it happened really quickly. I remember downloading a program called iDJ or something. I forgot the name of it.
That sounds like the first program I would
This
download.
sounds
that
so
feels
professional.
Right. Yeah. Just like the first thing that comes up in the App Store. Hey, TJ.
You too.
Oh my God.
Hey kids, try this. Yeah. You can be a DJ too.
Yeah. Now, saying that out loud, I'm like, yeah, I got started on the right things. That's why I'm great. Maybe that. I don't know.
Somebody just like comes up from the dance floor and peers over your computer and is like, whoa. Oh, wow. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
It's all good. First gig. Yeah. So I downloaded this app app. I don't know. And I was borrowing my mom's computer at the time. And so like, I was just mixing music on the trackpad on the computer. And so it emulated, the high, mids, and low knobs that I'm still twisting to this day to EQ music. But I was doing it all with a mouse. And so, or a mouse pad or trackpad on a Windows laptop. And
the height of cool.
Oh yeah.
Seriously.
Just like Oregon Trail going on the side, like
I probably some
chat, this is 2009. Okay.
Right. Okay. Right. Messenger then, I think.
Messenger. Yeah, I was about to say I probably had Messenger like just beeping off in the corner.
Absolutely cranking on MySpace.
Oh man, yeah, I was probably reorganizing my like top 5 or whatever. Picking my song. It was probably an emo song for sure. Yeah. So I learned really quickly that way. And I played at the Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, California as my first like serious gig. It was wild. It was a Maxim magazine New Year's Eve event. So it was just high stakes, a couple thousand people. And
how did this happen?
Yeah,
how do we get from the app to there?
Well, you know how there's a saying that says it's all about who you know. And this
Yes.
is it. This is
Okay.
literally just that, the proof in this pudding, in this crazy pudding. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm so like, you're the, full disclosure, first DJ that we've interviewed here on the Trailhead, and I feel like it is such like an internet joke to just be like, oh, this guy just pops on an iPad and like plays a playlist. I have a sense that it's probably a little bit more complicated than that. What does actually being a DJ entail now? Because like you've got lots of knobs and there's like things going on. Like, what are you actually doing back there?
Thinking of this reel that I've seen. It's of this girl crying, and she's like, what do DJs actually do? I am twisting knobs. I'm basically blending two different songs. I'm introducing one song before the next song ends, and sometimes I let the song run out. And I mean, I feel like I could get into a whole conversation and podcast into what is DJing and what like constitutes as DJing. And
Let's do that.
Yeah. That's this podcast.
I mean, maybe a better question is like, what do people not know about DJs?
Yeah.
Like, what do we not know? Like, what do people think? I mean, or how can you enlighten people in that way?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll speak from my, I think, like beliefs and So if I really don't care what people are using, what people are playing, or like any modalities. If they're playing on an iPad hooked up to like, like the phone with the aux cord, and the room is lit up and people are having a great time, the person selecting music is a DJ. And then the rest is like, it could get more complicated from there as far as like equipment and music programs on the computer to manipulate things, and even maybe doing a hybrid of DJing and instrumentation, which I do sometimes with drum machines and synthesizers. I'll like play songs, already produced songs, and from other people, and then I'll add flavor to it with percussion or sounds and instruments. And so anything I think between that is DJing. It's just selecting songs, and I don't hate on anybody if they're because I mean, I learned on a trackpad on my mom's computer, so I have zero room to talk.
So
okay, curation like the building, like the basis of all of this. Like if you have bad taste in music, or you don't know how to keep people moving, are you going to fail no matter what? Like you can have the nicest setup in the world, but
yeah, you're spot on. And I kind of just glanced over, like just danced around that point of if the DJ has the room lit up, it doesn't even matter what they're DJing with. If the DJ has the room lit up, they can let songs end, or the transition can be terrible, or there could be no transition at all. But if it's a song that just hits and the next song hits and the next song hits, it's success. Like, just like you said, yeah, curation, I think, is absolutely the most important thing.
How much are you doing that in advance versus like reading the room and being like, okay, these people are dying to hear Chapel Roan. See, I'm relevant and cool, and so we're gonna play some of that right now. Like, how much of it are you like responding to the vibe versus like pre-planning the vibe?
It's a good question. It depends on the event. If it's something that I've done hundreds of times, like an opera gig. Well, I don't want to say I've DJed opera gigs hundreds of times. Close. But if it's something of that nature where I know the audience, I've done a similar gig, my music library is there and I know the demographic. I know who the clientele is. But if it's something specific, like a 50-year-old's birthday, a 40-year-old's birthday, an 8-year-old's birthday, basalt middle school graduation dance that I've done, it's I'll spend quite a bit of time curating a playlist of what I think would work. And sometimes I work with the client and I say, hey, look, if you want something very personal, and you want me to add a little bit, give me 30 songs. Give me 10, and I'll use my own algorithm to fill in the gaps. Or I've done weddings where that's like really specific, right? It's like it's their day, it's their moments, and there's certain dance songs and certain walk-in songs and aisle songs, and that's very specific. So I don't really get to be creative in that sense until maybe the ceremony, or sorry, the reception. imagine this.
And then I really let loose as soon as they're at the altar.
I just want
Traveling
to.
is my go-to.
I have been to weddings where they should have had someone else in charge of the music. I'm just gonna say that. Like, that's all. But yes, your services would have helped.
I mean, you
Instead, we
never
all
know.
have-
1-800 dial a DJ.
Yeah, yeah. So it sounds like you don't have like you're doing the breadth of gigs, like super cool thing in Hollywood, but also birthday party, and it's like you have fun with both ends of the spectrum as far as that goes.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't always take any gig. I had an ego at the beginning, and I wanted to define myself as an electronic or house music or techno DJ, and I didn't want to do open format. Open format is any music, hip hop, like pop, anything, just anything. But I loved house music, and so I didn't want to do anything that wasn't house music. But now I don't want to say now, but over the years I dropped the ego and just started DJing anything. It has gotten me so much skill, and not just money and opportunity and travel. It's gotten me just skill, and yeah, like it killed my ego, which was great. And so I mean, I still struggle with the ego in certain on small levels. Yeah, it's humbling to be able to take a request and mix it in right away. Like 9-year-old walks up to me, he's like, "Play Spider-Man." I'm like,
Got you, bro.
I got you. Like, why not?
I feel like it can't be underestimated how much creative work is driven by ego death and the desire for free snacks.
So once you decide you're not cool, and like that's like its own way of it's very free.
So you also sort of blend in some of your trail running and mountain adventuring into your DJ life. I had seen on social media you posted a picture of yourself trail running with all of your equipment up to a DJ gig that was on a mountain. You are also, I believe, the go-to DJ at the finish line of Broken Arrow. I'm curious, like, how you think about that blending of worlds, because like where you live in a ski town, I feel like those are pretty permeable. You know, like the DJ and people who do stuff on mountains, Venn diagram is basically a circle, but maybe for other folks, those things feel a little less obvious.
Yeah, I've gotten lucky to be able to. When I moved here, I had no intention of DJing. I knew that skill was going to come out somewhere, somehow. I did not see it prevailing like it is now on the mountain, making people happy all the time and DJing. Man, like almost like 90, 100 times a winter. It's a lot of work. It's fun, but I never
should get like a 100-day DJ pen, you know, putting in the reps, putting in the days.
Damn, that would be cool. That's an idea. Okay. All right. I'm going to remember
a belt buckle.
Yeah, belt buckle.
Yes. Yes, that would be good. Yeah. Well, okay. So how do I weave that? So I moved here to get a cross training for trail running because my mentor, Ben Gottlieb, who has been living here for a long time, he was my water polo coach. This is like, okay, let's go back. He was my water polo coach in college. He was an ocean lifeguard at the time, and I was not. And so he had the water polo team try out to become ocean lifeguards because we're all swimmers and we lived on the beach in Santa Monica. And he's like, they're having a tryout. It's a great career. We're all trying out. Not you should, we're all trying out. And so we all did this initial swim. Some of us got hired. I ended up getting hired. And so he became my coworker. And so we would work on the beach together in Venice Beach in Santa Monica. And he was splitting time between LA and here. And he was teaching skiing and snowboarding and then going back to LA to ocean lifeguard. And he saw me getting into trail running and he said, Romy, you gotta come over to the mountains in the winter instead of just, getting fat over the holidays and then coming out in the spring and struggling. Like, you're going to come out really strong in the spring and you're going to get fast and you're going to do this thing called skinning. And I'm like, okay. He's like, no.
Does it hurt? Is it safe?
Is it safe?
Are you sure?
It's uphill. It goes uphill.
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
Why would you do that?
Right. I'm like, I'm like, sure.
Wow.
I'm like,
Whatever you say.
touring. So he used all these terms and he had to basically spell it out for me. He's like, yeah, you're going to go hiking. You're going to go hiking all winter. And I'm like, okay, it sounds great. So I moved here in my van and I lived in my van for the winter, and I froze and I got grit points. I like did not have fun, but I froze. But yeah, I got a little bit more tough and a little bit more acclimated to the mountains, and it kind of worked. And so I remember coming out in the spring and out of the spring, not out in the spring. I came out of the spring and trail running and was just like it felt so much easier taking off the ski gear and the clothes, and the temperature so much warmer. It was insane. So I felt that magic. It was really cool. So that's how I ended up here. Not any plans to DJ. And I was working in the shop, teching skis, classic rental, putting boots on people's feet. And I remember it was my the first gay ski week of 2019, right before COVID hit. And I was selecting music for the shop. I would just put the Spotify playlist on, and they're like, dang, that's good music. And I was like, yeah, I used to be a DJ. I was like, literally the words. I was like, I used to be a DJ. I wasn't a DJ in that moment, and I didn't identify as a DJ. And so they were like, we're gonna have an in-store event, and guest Kenworthy was there signing autographs, and they were like, Romy, do you want to play music in the background? And I was like, yeah, cool. And I was like, they're like, do you have equipment? And I'm like, no. I'm like, I didn't come here to DJ. I came here to hike in the winter. And so I ended up, that was my first official gig here. And after that, it was kind of just snowballed, and people started to get wind of me DJing. And because I would post memories on Instagram, and people who followed me on Instagram here, the friends that I made, would see the post, and they're like, whoa, you DJ'd at Coachella? You DJ'd at this club? You've DJ'd? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and that was my narrative for so long. I was like, I used to be a DJ. And I guess I had taken a break from it. Now looking back on that chapter, I had taken a break.
So what happened to your equipment? Was it in storage in LA, and then you eventually brought it out? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
You're like, I got to go get this stuff. This is getting out of control.
Totally.
Okay. That's fun.
I
have more music questions. What is the oldest thing or the weirdest thing that you have worked into a set that you've kind of been like, let's see how this goes? This could go really badly or really well. Is there a song like that where you're like, I'm just going to try it and see what happens?
Yeah, there was one that wasn't really my choice. It was kind of, I guess it was a requirement for a gig that I had. And I was playing Israeli music with American pop. And it was at this restaurant called Hassalon that was a pop-up in the W Hotel over this past winter. And they have a few locations. There's a Miami, New York, Las Vegas. There's one in Tel Aviv. And I was the resident DJ here for the Hassalon pop-up. And yeah, I think just not ever playing Israeli music was that reaction. I'm like, let's see how this goes. I'm like, they really want me to play Israeli music in the middle of Aspen in winter with this clientele. And I didn't really understand the brand. I'd met with the Hassalon team from Miami, and they prepped me a lot on music and gave me some folders of music of what to play. And they gave me good direction. But yeah, I did not know what to expect. And a lot of Israeli people, a lot of Jewish community would come to this restaurant, and it was a party. It felt like a wedding. It felt like a Jewish Israeli wedding that just went off every time. And they knew all the words, and they even thought that I was Israeli. They would come up to me. They're like, Bibi, are you Israeli? And I'm like, no, not that. And I was like, no, I'm not. And they would look at me, and then they would put their hand on my shoulder, and they're like, Habibi, are you sure? And I'm like, no, I'm like, I promise I'm not. They're like, where are you from? I'm like, Mexico. They're like, oh, Mexican Jew. And I'm like, oh my God. They really wanted me to be Israeli. I would love to be Israeli. I'd love to be Jewish. But that's not who I am. But they're like, you play music like you're Israeli. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I was given good direction.
Man,
Did
you've
you have
got
to
Gus
do
Kentworth and the Jewish community in. Like, that's peak Aspen buy-in. That's great.
Seriously, yeah.
Did you have to do like sort of a deep dive in the weeks leading up to that, or were you just like did you have to like figure out what songs to play? Or did they give you artists, or were you just like educating yourself so you could do it authentically? What was that like?
Yes, to all of the above. I was given gigs of music that like gigabytes of music that I had no idea what it was. It was a genre called Mizrahi. I don't even know if it's a genre. I think it's just like a style of music. Um, yeah, Israeli pop, but equivalent to if I were to play Jackson 5, it's like that's the Israeli music that I was playing. It was not
Oh,
some of it was new, but most of it was really old. And I realized that when the older generation, like the parents, because this town is about older generation, um, and so they would come up to me and they'd be like, "How did you know this song?" Like, I like this song is amazing. And they're like, "Are you sure you're not Israeli?" I'm like, "I promise." They're like, "Where did you get this music?" And I'm like, "They gave it to me."
you're like, my grandfather never played this because I'm not. It's yeah,
Not huge in Cozumel yet.
yeah.
No, there was none of that there. I promise you. I'm probably the only person I can confidently say I'm the only person from Cozumel playing in Aspen, playing Israeli music for sure. I would bet my life on that.
The Venn diagram just gets increasingly specific.
Yeah.
Concentric circles narrowing in. So in addition to doing some DJ stuff with the Broken Arrow Skyrace out in California, you've also been working with them on their board of advisors, helping them with some inclusivity. And you've done a lot of work in sort of the trail space around inclusivity. How did you get into that work, and why is it important to you? To put way too many questions into one.
No, that's a great question. They reached out to me. I was their first non-binary athlete to register for their races when Ultra Sign Up had made a category for non-binary for a non-binary division. And fun fact, Broken Arrow is the reason why Ultra Sign Up put that category in the first place.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah. So Brendan and the rest of the team, they were the ones that really pushed for that category. And so yeah, I signed up. I remember seeing the category and I was like, whoa. I was like, that's me. I was like, this is I get to do that? Like this is cool. And it changed, it like really changed, almost like really changed who I was and allowed me to be myself out in that community. As before, it was just something that I had like felt for myself. I didn't really wear it on the outside as much as other people on the non-binary spectrum do. It was my own thing, but it allowed me to really be myself. I guess this has nothing to do with your questions, but
No, I would actually love to hear even more about that. Like, what does it mean for you to be able to show up and like identify as your authentic self, especially like in these athletic spaces that aren't always like historically the most welcoming to folks who don't present just like right down the straight and narrow gender wise.
yeah. It's exciting. It's like warm and fuzzy and cute. It's so nice to be able to join a race and feel seen. Um, but I guess okay, so let me answer your questions. So they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, you registered as a non-binary athlete." It was an email. It was you registered as a non-binary athlete. Do you have any interest in being part of our advisory council? This is new this year. We want help from the community. And they're so smart. They're so smart to enroll people that knew more about certain things than them to solve problems and to grow the sport. And they are literally on the forefront of like the DEI, the things for the trail world. It's really cool to be part of, and that's kind of how it started. And more specifically, what I am involved in is inclusivity with not like the Q plus LGBTQ plus community and making it more inclusive with activations and ideas with all of the things surrounding the colorful people in our community, and to make them feel more welcome at that race.
What is it? Does that look like you said activations? I know, like the Rut in Montana has, I don't know how many slots there are, but it's basically a diversity grant, like where it's very hard to get into the race, or it's not very hard. It just sells out in like 5 minutes. But if you are of someone of a more of a diverse background, you can apply for this thing and say like, hey, can I get in this way? Which is really awesome because it gets people of color and LGBTQ folks into the race. Is there something like that with Broken Arrow, or
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it, what
So
is it?
yeah, so there was Priscilla, who was also on the team. She was helping out with BIPOC athletes and reaching out to getting people of color. And so I was not really part of that. My outreach was for non-binary athletes. And so I would reach out to people who are non-binary and say, hey, you want to come back? Basically, it was very much like, we're just doing it, and we're
So
just
sort of
gonna
recruiting almost, like
exactly. We're
like,
gonna see
hey,
if
come
there's
run. Okay.
stoked and I'm coming back. And
Okay.
yeah, there were some athletes that came out from Northern California, like San Francisco area, mostly because it's close by. So that outreach was a little bit easier than for me to pull from my Los Angeles or Colorado community. It's people were just like, that's far, it's expensive. But there was a lot of initiatives that ended up happening where Arc'teryx had paid for a lot of entries for people of color run clubs to come out, and they paid for all of their entries, and they gave them a bunch of gear. And it was great. It was a huge initiative. Huge.
So it sounds like you were sort of part of a lot of like different really cool things to sort of get people out there, and also just sort of involved in making the experience like really fun for folks, right? And I think there can sometimes be this way that the industry talks about DEI where it's like, oh, this box, you got to like sign up and check. And it's like such a
Right.
bummer, but we got to do it. And on the ground, it's much more experienced like this amazing, like you literally throw a party where you're DJing and there appears to be a ton of glitter. And I'm curious what that vision of DEI is like for you.
Fantastic question. Fabulous question. So basically Brendan gave me full like freedom to throw a party at Broken Arrow, and he wanted me to create a finish line experience like no other. And he says he wants to make it colorful. He wants to have me, the star of the show. And that made me nervous because I did not think that it was about me. I was, like, let's make it inclusive. But he and I really got along, and he trusted me, and he saw the authenticity in me and wanting to help out. And it's funny when you say it's like, is it just checking a box? Like, I never got that from the Broken Arrow team. I truly felt that they were genuine in wanting to be inclusive to all the athletes. Yeah, basically, if whatever idea I had, he would say yes. He's like, yes. He's like, let's try and make it happen. And we would run with it. And no matter how short or how long the runway was leading up to the event, we would just kind of scratch out ideas that we didn't have time for. But everything else that like stuck, we would run with. And anything from Bubbles and DJ at the finish line to like one idea we had. I almost don't want to give this away because I don't want another race to take it, but maybe I'll like get hired.
It's all in the execution,
True. We wanted a downhill rainbow race that would, instead of like an uphill like VK effort, it's like a downhill like rainbow race, and like people could dress up in any color or be as colorful as possible. And at the end there was a slip and slide, like a rainbow slip and slide with me DJing and bubbles and glitter and puppies and all the things. And so that didn't end up happening, but I feel like if we had a little bit more runway, or like, I don't know if we could put things in place. I
guess you do now for next year.
Seriously,
manifesting, Romy.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's liability issues with the slip and slide. Like, it can't be more dangerous than a VK, right? Like,
we want people to run downhill as fast as possible onto a glittery slip and slide covered in puppies somehow.
What could go wrong?
We'll get them to sign a waiver. It's fine.
What could go wrong? We're like wetting it with gels.
Yeah.
Recovery slide. Here we go.
So at a certain point, it just
downhill
becomes
slip and
sticky.
slide. Yeah.
The stick,
Sponsored by Body Glide.
the slip and stick. Just like there's the viscosity wears off and somebody just gets stuck in the middle. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I've known Brendan for like over a decade now, and I feel like his business plan is partially or maybe mostly just being a good guy. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
And like everything else follows that, and I think it's such a big part of his quote unquote success and creating community and in that part of the world. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't have a question. I'm just saying he's a great guy.
No, he literally has his phone number on the Broken Arrow website. He has his personal cell phone.
That is so bold.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he will answer. He will answer. Yeah, he is. Yeah, like you said, it's a personable guy. Just amazing human.
That's madness, though. Okay,
that is,
good guy, but that's
an
not,
insane level of
yes.
that's like pathologically nice.
Brendan, you need boundaries. You need boundaries.
Yes. Like, I'm a good person,
Can't say that.
and you will have to pry my cell phone number from my cold dead hands. But so I'm going to preface this by saying, like, I'm not asking you to be like, so Romy, can you just like fix inclusion for us in all circumstances forever? But sort of speaking to your experience of like showing up in that space and like having that really personal gut feeling of like, oh, I can be me here. Like, this is really cool. Like, I just feel like, oh, I feel the warm fuzzies.
Yeah.
What do you think we could do to increase the warm fuzzitude in the trail space right now?
Oh my gosh, more finish line celebrations,
More parties. I endorse.
But like for the everyone else category, for the non-binary, for the LGBTQ plus, all the letters and the numbers and all the pluses and minuses, and whoever you are, I think deserves to be celebrated, just like all the other categories.
Middle-aged white dudes.
Where is my slip and slide for the middle-aged white guys?
If you look at the demographics, it's like that's what it is. And like
You're not wrong.
Like they don't hate we don't hate fun. Like
It said
you know, it's like
you just like forget for a second. You're like, oh yeah, it is me. Yeah, I am that.
Yeah, I am.
He's like, not me.
I have a mirror
I've
right over
seen
here.
other
like,
guy. Not me. I'm a cool dad.
I'm not. No, I just literally talking to my wife about this last night. Anyway, yeah.
So, okay, just to switch gears a little bit here, in I believe August of 2022, is that right? You had an accident. You had a bad fall. You broke your back, fractured your wrist, walked away with torn tendons and ligaments in your foot, and even a traumatic brain injury. So that's sort of a list of injuries that for a lot of folks might see that and think like, I'm never trail running again, much less trying to brainstorm a giant glittery slip and slide at the base of a ski hill. What happened in the very first days following that accident, and what was your recovery like in the beginning there?
Yeah, that was rough. Whew. Still traumatized, still PTSD, just ingrained, just embedded deep into my being. It's that I don't think it'll ever go away, which is, I think I've turned into light and a fire to keep going, because as much as moving hurts, a friend said this on Instagram that I just saw that has problems with their spine, and I'm going to quote them. And so, as much as moving hurts, and I identify with this so deeply, as much as moving hurts, not moving hurts more. Insane thing that they said, and it resonated with me. And so, like, I cannot. It encompasses everything. Why I do it and why I keep going. It's like why stop? It's like it's the only thing that we have is to keep going, and quitting for me and any other endurance athlete is not an option for sure. I think I could speak for everybody on that. Like, quitting is definitely
enduring's kind of our thing.
It's not the point. That's not why we signed up to quit. But yeah, like, since getting into trail running, I mean, when I said I got into trail running in 2018, that was like officially like, yeah, I signed up for a race, and it wasn't just like a hobby where I would go out on vacation and trail run. And I did that before. And so, like, I feel like seriously, when I got into trail running, then I had aspirations of being good and wanting to be like on podiums. I'm not going to lie. I wanted that feeling. because I had been DJing and I had been on big stages, and I've felt recognition, and I felt what that was like with eyes on me, and I was comfortable being the center of attention. And so I wanted that in trail running too. And so I was like, I think I could get good at this. I was in my 20s. I'm like,
Sounds like a very mid-20s thought.
yeah, like I got this. I had zero. Also, like I did not come from a background of like cross country when I was a kid. I played soccer. I'm Mexican, so like it's in my blood. I came out of the womb with a soccer ball. Like scored a goal immediately, and I loved running. I loved running in circles. I loved running drills. I loved being punished with running. It was just like something that I couldn't get hurt by running, and so it was. Yeah, when I got introduced to it at the Broken Arrow 52K, I was like, man, this is. I really think there's something here. And watching other people podium, it gave me hope. And so all of that got turned upside down with this injury. And I keep going because my brother's disabled. He has cerebral palsy and he can't do a lot with his body. And I've always had encouragement from his being in his life and having him in my life. And so I didn't want to stop just because I was hurt. It definitely looks different now. I'm like, try not to get emotional. It looks different now being on the mountain, and my aspirations have definitely changed. And I've had to change gears for sure on distances and how much racing I take in on a given season. At first, I thought I was recovering really well, and coming out of that, this injury, I remember taking on as many races as I wanted to, and I was performing okay, like considering somebody who had that injury. But if you were to put any sub-elite athlete in my position, I think we would all kind of do the same. We would bounce back pretty quick, but then quickly realize it's not sustainable. And that's what I'm finding now as like 3 years out. This is the least amount of racing that I've done in the summer. And I'm like starting to understand that this could be the picture. It's maybe instead of one race a month, with like a huge training block in the winter and then like just race in the summer. Now it's just maybe one or two. And that is disheartening because it's like that it felt like a lot got taken away, but it doesn't take away my time in the mountains, and it doesn't take away my time with my dogs out on the trail and with my friends and my family and my loved ones. And it doesn't take away my time from being involved with people like Broken Arrow and sharing my passion with people on the mountain, also with DJing too. It doesn't take that away completely. It does take away specific things like lifting heavy things, because I can't really lift heavy things, can't run as far. I can't. There's so many layers to it, from the physical to the mental, traumatic brain injury, residual things there. There's a lot.
How specifically does it change how like your relationship to trail running? Like, do you feel like more gratitude to be out there, or even more or fear, or like probably a mix of a lot of things?
For sure, all of it. Yeah, yes, the answer is yes. A lot of fear of not knowing what the future is going to be like, because I've broken something in my spine, and I don't know what that exposes me to. If I don't know if I'm going to have arthritis, like I'm probably going to have arthritis for sure in my spine. I don't know what that's going to feel like. I don't know how much more it's going to hurt that like later on in life. And so I'm kind of feel like I feel time shortened for me out on the mountain. And I know my days are numbered, not in a morbid sense, but like in the sense of my ability and how my spine or my body might tighten. I'm not an occupational therapist or a doctor or a physical therapist. I don't know how to explain that, but I definitely know from experience of breaking a collarbone, it's like there's certain things that just don't get better, and injuries, like it definitely, I guess if I could put it this way, it did not give me a superpower, so it's not like making anything better. It's only going to get worse from here with age and gravity.
Didn't develop the ability to like squirt web out of your wrist, or like incredible ability with swords. None of this came about as a result of trauma, which all comic books would lead us to believe is true.
I remember laying on the couch after the injury for like weeks. I was in a wheelchair because I like could
Wow.
not walk. And I remember laying on the couch. I was probably like high as a kite on Oxy. And I remember thinking, I think it's the movie Rookie of the Year where he like breaks his arm and then he's able to like throw like over 100 miles an hour. Do you guys know what movie I'm talking about? With I think it's Charlie Sheen.
Is that Rookie of the Year?
Wild Thing.
I feel like I've seen like it's one of those like cable like it's
Yes.
Tuesday night
Oh,
on
like
TNT.
Major League.
Major League, maybe that
Major
one.
League.
But he doesn't break his arm in that. But maybe
No.
there's a sequel. I don't know. Anyway, Charlie Sheen could throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in real life. Anyway, and do all sorts of drugs. Yeah.
Well, he and I, anyways, okay. So I was like, what if I heal from this and I have like a superpower? But that's not the case. I was just
That
high.
we know of yet.
That we know of yet. I did
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Not to get away from that topic, but do you listen to music when you run?
Oh, good question. No, I don't. I yes and no. So no, when I'm outside, I never put things in my ears. I don't know. I've never done it. I've tried to run with music out on the trail, out on the road in cities, and I end up just like putting the headphones in the bag or like earbuds in the pocket. And it's not like saying like, hey guys, like I'm so much cooler than like, music. But I listen to so much music that I don't want to listen to music. And I think if I wasn't a DJ, I'd probably be jamming to the same playlist. And like Zoe, like how you asked, I'd probably have a few songs.
Yeah, I was like, can you prepare a mini playlist for us? And this is when Romy revealed that he doesn't listen to music while running. But I believe that we do have a few songs coming recommended from a pro DJ.
For sure.
I don't listen to music either. I'm not judging anybody.
I do.
Like,
so this is completely self-interested.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wish I listened to music when I ran. Like I honestly, because there are times where I am listening to music, but those are only on the treadmill during uphill intervals, and I am just blasting music. And it's mostly just new discovery music. I'm looking for new releases. I'm using Spotify's algorithm to shuffle and show me new things. So it's not really the same thing, but I do listen to music. And if I need to lock in on this hill interval on the treadmill, man, I will like turn up the volume and give myself tinnitus just to get through that for sure. But
I am like not going to have eardrums by the time I'm 40. It's a huge bummer for everyone in my immediate vicinity. I'm going deaf so young.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Really tough for someone who's a professional podcast producer, but it's a choice I've made.
Yeah. A fun fact, I watch paintball tournaments while I'm running on the treadmill.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing on YouTube.
No.
That's
Yep.
fantastic.
There's
Of course
pro
it is.
paintball out there. And I used to play professional level paintball as a kid when I was young.
Of course you did.
And
I
so
feel like we could do 10
watched it.
podcasts in this podcast.
The world. Yes.
So that's why I watch it. And I understand it because it's like I'm watching these plays go down and I'm like, oh damn, messed up. You should have waited and crossed up with it. Yeah. Yeah. And so I watch hours and hours and hours, and there's still tournaments going on. And so
I feel like that might have the auxiliary effect of like, I know if I saw someone just absolutely hammering a workout while watching like paintball, like POV videos, I'd be like,
yeah.
I'll do the elliptical. That's cool. I don't need, my workout's not that important today. It's cool.
But I've like all the treadmills I've run in have been like gyms or like hotels, and like I've not been in control of what's on the TV. So it's either like CNN or like the Pioneer Woman, and I'm like cooking like some like extremely like fatty casserole, and I'm like, why? So like paintball is like pretty sane, I think, or at least not that weird. But
yeah, it's my favorite is queuing up just like the creamiest, weirdest like Food Network thing, and then blasting like a Boiler Room set to really get some like cognitive dissonance going.
Heck yeah.
I have one more music question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Why do I like DJ sets on YouTube where there's an actual DJ playing music, even though I just leave it in another tab while I'm doing the rest of my work and I'm not watching the actual DJ. Why is that so much better than someone just putting together a playlist on YouTube?
The smell of job security, Romy.
Do you click back and like check in on this DJ like it's a real thing?
Maybe every once in a while, you know,
I think
or
that's
if it's over and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Like I'm addicted to like Fred again doing his like rooftop sets. I'm like, why is this so cool? Like,
well, because you know where it's coming from. I think that's exactly it. You know exactly where it's coming from, and you can click back at any point and escape whatever you're doing, and just quickly be there in that moment. And you know that's happening. It's as weird as that sounds. I think there's an outdoor set happening on another tab.
Humans did it basically, and I can
human mix for sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
cool,
good answer.
Yeah, can we? My last question is your 3 favorite or your 3 recommended songs to run to for the cool and discerning treadmill runner.
Okay. Here we go. Liked songs. I mean, because I literally, when I'm listening to music, it's just, I'm discovering new things. So it's never really the same. Okay. So Celia Cruz, La Vida es un Carnaval. You guys got to put that on. Try it
right now.
Try it. I'm going to just scroll here and see what happens. And we're going to go with, you know what? I'm going to plug my own mashups here, but you can't find them. I don't release them. They're all
You have like a super secret SoundCloud under like a different name.
I should. No, I do it to be as inclusive as I am. I like to be exclusive with my music. And the only way people can hear it is to come to my DJ sets.
IRL. I love it.
What a hypocrite. Oh my God.
What a hypocrite.
I'm just joking.
No. Okay, let's pick a couple other songs. I'm gonna go Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit.
Ooh.
I think that's
this is an all-time combo here. Celia Cruz and Limp Bizkit.
I did not expect that one. Wow.
It's a real the full spectrum of human emotion right there.
Great. And then I gotta give it up to my emo roots, and go with something like Taking Back Sunday. Let's see, what's the first song that comes up if I Taking Back Sunday? Ooh, Make Damn Sure, for sure.
Ooh,
Damn Sure.
That is just an emotive trifecta right there, Romy.
Yeah, totally.
This is not for the podcast, but have you ever listened to 60 Songs That Explain the 90s?
Love that podcast.
What?
I wonder if, I think he did one on Break Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least there was, it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to link me to something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the only podcast where you're going to walk away with just recommendations of other people's podcasts.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like some of the best music writing I've ever. And then Rob Harvilla's delivery of it is like absolutely incredible.
It really is some of the better
okay, I'm interested. I'm a 90s baby, so what's that?
I know. This was like me. This is like when I'm a teenager and you guys are younger. And it's like, it's interesting that you're listening to it, Zoe. Like,
I came in late, but like looking at what was available when my cerebral cortex was forming, it's like, I think I was just like, and especially in rural Arkansas, just like grasping for any superior culture. Because we had Evanescence. That was really big where I was from. They're from Arkansas. Yeah.
Oh. Have you listened to the Vanilla Ice Baby one?
No.
That is the best 60 Songs That Explain the 90s.
Amazing.
Like he actually does that. He does an a cappella version of the backup singing. Like that's just the words that the backup singers sing in the song. And it's like absolutely, I would be humiliated if I were Rob Harvilla, but he's just doing it. And you're just like
full commitment,
crying with laughter. Yeah. So
amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Those are all the questions I have. Brendan, do you have anything else? Any other? We finally have another music nerd bonding with you here.
I know.
So
I feel like
take advantage while you can.
No, it's like it's not super relevant to the actual podcast, so it's like I don't want to like dilute it any further.
And our whole brand is being extremely relevant, so that's really disappointing.
You're right. It's all about running all the time.
It's all about running.
What kind of splits did you have? What kind of interval workouts are you doing, Romy?
What's your question? Let's try it.
About music?
No, whatever it was. You're like, you had one, but you're like, it's not relevant to this. I'm
like, no. I could just keep going with music stuff, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Amazing.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Romy. This was so fun, and hope to see you out on, I would say out on the mountain, but I believe I'll be seeing you in your natural habitat this coming week, DJing.
For sure.
Oh,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if I could plug a couple things, I'd be
Yeah,
yeah.
happy to.
absolutely.
Run and Rave. It's a new run club that I did not start the original. It's not my idea. It's some very dear friends of mine in Berlin that started this run club. Very cool format of community and running and music. And so they start off, the format is they start off with like a group stretch by waking up Berlin early in the morning, like with a chant, like "Good morning, Berlin." And they take off on, it's like a 5K run. It's like the easiest thing. And then they do a workout somewhere in the middle of that run. It's like a body weight partnered workout to break the ice and create community. And then they finish at a cafe with beats and treats and more community and hanging out. And so I was lucky enough to be friends with them and get inspired when I went to Berlin and led a workout and a run.
Whoa.
I was so inspired. I came back. I was like, I need this in Snowmass. And so shout out to my Run and Rave team. We have one now in Snowmass that is kind of exclusive to summer, but now like that I'm going to meet with them soon. I think given the environment that we live in here, I feel like there might
Skin
be
and Rave. Let's go.
Skin and
Sounds like
Rave.
the ideal German techno dungeon.
Tour and Rave, ski and
Tour and
rave.
Rave.
Like, we don't know. There could be something there. So it's evolving. It's like first of its kind here in Snowmass. And so I think we're gonna develop some cool ideas. So Run and Rave for sure. And thank you to everybody who has believed in me here and given me opportunity, including you guys, for letting me tell my story here. Anybody who's ever given me a gig, who's ever passed a gig on to me.
Shout out Maxim Magazine. You guys are the real heroes.
Seriously, who kicked it off?
Shout out Mom's Computer.
Shout out Mom's Computer.
Yes, please. Thanks, Mom. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on the Trailhead. If you love this episode, leave us a review, share it with your trail crew, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss an adventure. Give us a follow on Instagram at TrailheadPod. And you can reach us anytime at trailhead@ultrasignup.com. We'd love to hear your stories, questions, guest ideas, or just to say hi. And don't forget to check out all of the shows in the Ultra Podcast Network. We're building something special, and it's just for you. We'll see you every other week, right here on the Trailhead.